Blessings. Welcome to my channel, Anja Africa. I am a mature adult planning my repatriation to the continent. Felt like it was important for me to come on and just discuss what my plans look like. There are some things that I've encountered that I think most people should be aware of. One of them being the cost. I mean, many people wonder why African Americans, Africans in the diaspora are not going back to the continent. And a lot of that has to do with the cost. There are so many fees involved that you really can't even imagine until you encounter them. So I'm hoping that this will help other people so that they won't have this issue. One of those things is I'm going to start from the beginning. That's what we'll do. Initially, I planned my trip to leave from Philadelphia to Belize. Okay, that was in July. I later learned that due to COVID restrictions, you would have to stay at the resort and you would not be allowed to venture around the island. This scenario did not work for me because I was visiting a friend and I was going to be visiting her at her on her property, and she owns 43 acres. So I needed to get out there to be able to look at the property to see if I was interested in doing business with her. So that trip was canceled. Then I said, you know what? I'm going to Gambia. I've been seeing so much information about Gambia. I've been really curious about it, doing a lot of research. So I contacted the airline, tried to book a flight for Gambia. I did that through like a travel company, Just Fly. With that situation, of course, I had to contact my job. I just started there maybe a few months, 6 months into the job, like at the height of COVID when it just started in March in the States. So the job was basically like, you shouldn't have booked your ticket without telling us. We don't allow this much time. Mind you, I was looking at 2.5 weeks, 2.5 to 3 weeks. So there's the problem with working for people. They want to control your time. They want to tell you how long you can go. So I basically was like, well, you can pay me my allotted vacation time and the rest of the time I just won't be paid, but I still want to go. They weren't too thrilled about it. Nevertheless, before I could really go back and forth with them, I received a notice from the airline that my flight was canceled. As a result of my flight being canceled, I called the job and said, listen, forget my request. I don't need to do the request anymore. So that was my second attempt. So the last time around, I decided I was going to wait, see what happened. So I was having some issues at the job. They seemed to be nitpicking about different things. Finally, it was, you're not a team player. You're not doing what we need to be done in a timely fashion. All these little excuses. If you know anything about working for other folks, you know exactly what I'm talking about. All of these are the little red flags for them saying you don't fit in. It's whatever, because I don't want to fit in. I just want to be me. I want to work. I want to live a good life. And I realized that that's not here in the States. Nevertheless, by the time September rolled around, they decided to let me go, which was perfect because now I can go on vacation and I have no restrictions. So I planned my vacation again, and this time around I am going to Ghana first. Then I'm going to Sierra Leone. Then I'm going to Gambia. We'll talk about the details of why I'm going to Sierra Leone and why I'm going to Ghana in another video. This video is about the cost of things that people should be prepared for. First and foremost, you need to have a visa. Even prior to that, you need to have your passport. I've always had a passport, so that wasn't really an issue for me. But my passport is expiring. And if you're going to travel, your passport cannot be expiring within 6 months. So if I know, like, let's say it's December, if my passport is going to expire in June, I cannot, they're not going to allow me to travel because they may think, oh, you may try to stay someplace or your passport will expire and we won't have a way of keeping track of you, whatever the case is. So my passport actually expires August of 2021, so I'm good. So I had already sent for a Gambian visa because I was told they were no longer doing them at the airport. You had to get it in the States. Usually people wait until they get to their location and they're able to purchase the visa for much less. However, you know, the US has to make a money grab. So it was $200 for the visa. That's your first fee. Now we're talking about traveling to multiple countries. So if it's not part of the countries that are part of that country's visa, like East and West Africa, then you need to get separate visas. So now I have to get a visa for Ghana. So I thought I was going to be able to get the visa at the airport, but because of COVID, they've changed the restrictions again. So I sent for the visa application. I filled out the application online. You submit it online. They send you back a confirmation email. Then you have to send payment for the visas by cashier's check only. They do not accept money orders. And it has to be written out to the Ghana embassy, which is what I did. I took care of that. Now I'm doing this for myself and my sons. So remember, what I'm telling you is double the price, okay? So I sent that out, $60 each, okay? Then when I go to send out the stuff at the post office, I have to pay to mail it. There's another fee, right? The little $4 or whatever to get it to the embassy, priority mail. The embassy requires that you do return mail. So that's an additional $30 each so that they can track it and get it back to you in a timely fashion. Now, they generally ask that you do not purchase your ticket. Excuse me. They ask that you don't purchase your ticket before you get your visa. However, my ticket was already purchased because I thought I was going to be able to get the visa once I got to Ghana. That's not the case. Also, going to Ghana, they want COVID tests. Sorry. They want COVID tests 72 hours prior to, 72 hours prior to your departure, they want COVID test. When you arrive in Ghana, they also want COVID test, which means your COVID test has to be paid for prior to your arrival. If that's the case, we're talking $150.